Have you ever been so scared? Like, actually, you can hear your own heartbeat. Not metaphorically, you know what I'm saying? I mean, like, pounding, you know? Like, it's pounding so loud that it drowns out everything that's around you, right? Because that's exactly what happened to me. I can still remember the smell of that apartment, bro. The cigarette smoke hanging in the air. The blunt wraps. Playing Madden. Chilling with my homeboy. You know, that old couch with the ripped cushions. I remember it all, bro. The TV playing in the background. Like nothing was wrong. I remember it all. I lived that. I'm gonna just break down something with y'all that's been weighing on my soul probably for 22 years. I ain't never told this story. Only a couple people know this story. And I'm pretty sure the cats who try to do that know this story too. And we're gonna dive deep into it because it's something that it's been weighing on. It's been weighing on me. It's been kind of like, I can't get out the rut. You know what I mean? I just can't get out of it. So we sitting there and we chilling, right? We ain't worried about nothing. No, it was a knock. Actually, it was doom, doom, doom. It was 3 knocks at the door, right? Everything after that happened in seconds. But those seconds lived in my head every day. I still wake up thinking about that. This ain't no movie, bro. There wasn't some hero that came through the door and saved us all, right? This was no dramatic rescue team searching for me and my homeboy. It was nothing like that, bro. It was something real thick. It was something real dangerous that was happening. It was something that you can't control. You understand what I'm saying? Like maybe if you was in that position, maybe you could say what you would have did. You could say what you would have done. But until you in that position, you won't be able to do nothing about nothing that happened to you. You know what I mean? Because it wasn't nothing you could do. It was just fear. Pure fear. But let's break it down. Like, before that night was over, right? Me and my dude, we was staring down a gun barrel. I was staring down one gun barrel. He was staring down another one. Begging with our eyes, right? I ain't gonna never beg for my life, but I was begging with my eyes. Like, we was getting forced into a car not knowing if we was gonna ever come back, right? So let's break this down. Sit back. If you got a little smoky smoke, get your smoke on, because that's what I'm about to do. This is killing me. It's killing me. And it's like real dark, and I'm gonna do this on purpose because it's some hood shit. You feel me? Me in here, we're gonna focus on this because I want you to understand what's going on, bro. I don't want y'all just to understand Cashmere Matic, the YouTube creator. I ain't no YouTube creator, bro. I'm a musician. I'm a dad, but I've been a dude who been through the struggle, and I don't want to be remembered as a YouTuber. I want to be remembered as a dude who told the stories that came from the heart, the rapper who profounded and made something different. I don't want to change rap, but I want to be the dude who make things different, man. So sit back, get your smoke on, come relax with your boy Cat. Chapter 1, right? Something fell off. We're gonna take you back a little bit. Something didn't feel right before it even happened. Let me tell you why it didn't feel right. You know that feeling in your chest, in your soul, in your stomach that's telling you that you have to leave? That little voice whispers, go home, right? I ignored all the signs of leaving, right? I stayed. We were sitting around talking, laughing, watching TV, acting like it was any other night for real. It did feel like it on the low key, you know what I'm saying? People have been in and out the trap all evening, you feel me? They've been in and out that mill all night long. You see different type of people all the time running in at the house, especially if it's in the trap house. You know all that, right? And I wasn't even like, back then I wasn't even like saying like, I wasn't doing nothing. Like I was just hanging with the wrong cats, you feel me? I was like just hanging with the wrong set. Like at that time I wasn't really doing nothing. I was just, association type shit. Just association. So to me ain't nothing unusual. We playing the game. Ain't nothing unusual. Ain't nothing about that. Nothing unusual about playing the game, right? Or watching TV. But looking back, low key though, some faces stayed a little too long. Like, some questions still sound a little bit too interesting. Like, I don't know. Somehow, like, we didn't notice that at that moment, The apartment was kind of hella small. It was one way in, right? One way out. That mug was basically a box, right? If somebody wanted to, like, trap us in, we was already trapped in because, to get through the apartment, you had to get buzzed in through the apartment. And so if you get buzzed in through the apartment, boom, bop, But someone to get you, my dude, is gonna get you in that apartment. No cap. Move in, some tapping through like some Nick at Night or something, like some scary shit. But it's real though. It's reality, not actual. At least it's reality, my dude. The door opens, but it didn't just open like it was. Boof. It was like you ever heard something go boof. Like before that though, it was knock. My dude looked over at me like, probably somebody was coming through. We ain't know. You know what I'm saying? He unlocked it like a normal person would unlock the door. You know what I'm saying? The second that deadbolt unlocked, the door exploded open, bro. 3 masked dudes came inside so fast, it looked rehearsed. It looked like somebody set us up. Before I can even stand up, bro, cold steel was inches from my face. One of them said, "Kill on the ground or I'll kill everybody in this bitch." That's what he said. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just keeping it real blunt. You know what I'm saying? And I said, why I'm gonna say, oh, man, this cat, man, he bitch style. I didn't. I got on the ground, bro. I mean, I had the floor so hard, my shoulder bounced off the hardwood. I kind of like messed up my shoulder, kinda. We ain't moved, bro. Nobody talked. You could hear the TV. I think we was playing Madden, but after we got done playing Madden, before the knocks came, we was watching Seinfeld, smoking a blunt. That's exactly what happened. We was smoking the blunt, watching reruns of Seinfeld. Okay, you can hear people like muffling and talking, and I can't really understand what they were talking about. They were saying something, and then you can hear one dude breathing all hard because he got the steel pointed to me, and it's like, now it's to my dome. You know what I'm saying? To my dome on the ground. It's to my dome. That shit crazy, bro. And then he go, one of them pull the slide back on the gun. That sound alone, like, that's over. It's over with. Like, ain't no doubt about it. It's over, bro. I ain't get a chance to live my life, bro. At this point, I ain't had no kids. I'm like, damn, I ain't have a kid yet. I don't even know what that feel like. I ain't really had no steady girlfriend at that time. It was just what it was. You know what I'm saying? It was just what it was, man. I was out here working, coming home. Some nights I go chill with the, you know what I'm saying, a bird at the trash spot. Sometimes I go chill with them, make little moves. I'm just sitting back watching, and you want to get in there? Oh, not right now, huh? Just little weed bops. That ain't nothing. Little weed bops ain't nothing. Little weed bops, it ain't nothing at first till you like upgrade to something else. But that's what was happening. It was just little bops. Well, it wasn't nothing particular. You know what I'm saying? Not at first. When I heard that though, I ain't gonna never forget that song. You will never forget that. Part 3. Held at gunpoint. They weren't yelling because they was nervous. They were calm. That's what made it more terrifying, right? One guy stood over us while the other two started ripping through everything. Drawers slammed, glass breaking, furniture flipping over. I seen one of the dudes break my dude's TV, bro. One of them kicked my dude in the ribs just because he looked up for a second, He looked over and he was like, poof, and just kicked him hard as hell. I was like, oh man. I wasn't saying because I'm like, I ain't gonna say nothing. I'm gonna get my shit peeled. It's inevitable. I ain't gonna sit here and be tough. I just started thinking about all the shit that I didn't do, and about all the things that I should have done and I didn't do, They just start replaying in your mind over and over again. That's just how it is, man. I kept my face pressed against the floor though, you know. All I could see were boots walking past, going back and forth. Every time footsteps got closer to me, I thought either I was shot or he was shot. You know, I just thought that for sure. Ain't no doubt about it. But I remember thinking like, why my thing keep going on? That's my ring camera, sorry, girl. I remember thinking like, this is how I die. Like the dang movies and the rappers, bro. Not surrounded by family, not old, just young in these streets for no reason. And I shouldn't be. I should have been at the crib and playing Madden by myself. You know? And it wasn't gonna be peacefully if I die. I'll be on the dirty floor of a trap spot. Like, think about it. I'm gonna be on the floor at a trap spot. You know how many cats I seen in and out the trap spot all day long? You know how many people I seen just like, I don't know, but just doing it. I ain't gonna snitch. But you might think this is a dry snitch. This is just my story, my truth. You ask another cat, he gonna tell his truth, but it's gonna be the same story. It's gonna be the same story. It ain't gonna change. The one dude, you can't ask the story because he passed away. And the other two cats, they might watch this YouTube video and come back doing it again. But this how you do it again. I got something for you. You know what I'm talking about? Type. You know what I mean? We gotta get in chapter 4. We got to, bro. They picked this up, right? One of them grabbed me by the shirt. He said, "Get up." I couldn't even feel my legs, bro. They were like shaking so bad, almost fell for real. They zip tied our hands, man. Marched us outside. That night, the air hit my face, bro. But it didn't calm me. You know how normally when you go outside, the air just calm you. You don't matter what's going on inside your house. It could be your daddy screaming and throwing stuff at the wall. It could be anything. It could be anything, your job, anything. When you go outside, bro, and you outside, you feel a little bit better. You know? You feel a little bit better. So just a little bit better, you know? But man, that night, it didn't feel better, man. I was looking around like, maybe somebody would see us, bro, but ain't nobody see us, bro. The streets was empty, bro. Like, ain't nobody see nothing. I can't believe it, but nobody. I swear, I swear to God, was not one parked car outside. The only car that might have been outside was my homie's car, and maybe like a couple other people that was attending, but they was on the opposite side of the building. Where we was getting walked through, it was the other side of the building. You couldn't see nothing over there, and that's a fact. You know what I'm saying? That's a fact. It was like the whole city disappeared while Cash and my homie were about to get that type, you know. They settled into the back of a vehicle, man. The door shut immediately. It was pitch black, bro. I couldn't even see my own hands. It was just like you see how it is. You can see your hands in here, but you can't see your hands when you go like this. It was just like that where I couldn't see nothing. I couldn't see. Chapter 5, yo. Look. That ride, bro. That ride was the longest drive of my life. Every bump in the road made me think we were gonna get further from civilization. I'm not even trying to joke. My imagination started doing things that were like worse than reality with my mama. Like I pictured abandoned houses, forests, basements, shallow grass. I thought about my room. I thought about my family. I thought about everything I never got to say. I thought about all of that, bro. I ever wonder if my mom was going to have to come and identify my body when I die. You thinking all this crazy, goofy, because you don't know. At the end of the day, like, how do you know? You don't know. Like, that's what my mom was. I don't care. You can judge me if you want to. That's where all my mom was. Every second felt like an hour and nobody talked about it, man. Like, nobody talked. We ain't say nothing. We were just breathing, heavy breathing. I'm sitting here like, and I got asthma, so it was worse. And I do like I'm heavy breathing. I'm like, it was getting worse. And like the sound of trees rolling, like you can hear the sound of trees, and you can hear the tires. You can hear tires rolling, like in the dark. Like it's crazy. You don't know how that feels. Chapter 6 too. The moment I thought it was over, bro, the vehicle finally stopped. One of them opened the door just for a split second, right? Nobody said anything. I thought this was it. I thought they were about to line us up with my mama. Instead, one voice said, "Get out." We stumbled onto the pavement for real, for real. Then the other dude say, "Walk." Like, it sound like a movie, but it's not a movie, bro. And then he say, "Don't look back." I'm like, I'm not even questioning it. I just know my shoulder. I ain't ask no question. I ain't hesitate. I just walk. One step, then another step. Walking every second until I hear a gunshot behind. I'm like, I know it's gonna happen. It's gonna be like the Godfather or the Goodfellas when, you know, like the Goodfellas when they shot Joe Pesci. Yeah, it's gonna be like one of those moments. You know, I'm gonna get lined. I'm gonna be over here getting set up. We about to get lined up. It's over. Ain't no doubt about it. Ain't no doubt. How we gonna survive this? We can't survive this. There's no way. There's no way in the world to survive this, bro. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no way. Ain't no way to survive this, bro. Like, how can you? You know what I'm saying? You can't survive it. But, you know, I don't know. I was expecting somebody to clip me in the back of the head, bro. It never came. Right. That night changed everything. Because people turn on you. Like, do I know who turned on me? I do. I do. Even the homie knew. After a while, we knew. You know what I'm saying? Like, people think trauma ends when the situation is over. It doesn't, bro. For weeks I jumped. Every time somebody like said something stupid to me, I jumped up every time somebody knocked on my door. Instead of buying one gun, I had two now. Everybody that I walked into and bumped into looked suspicious for like the next 3 years straight. I realized how fast like life can disappear with one bad decision, right? Because you worried about the fear that would happen to you the last time something happened to you years ago, and you still replaying that in your mind. Cause I'm like, yeah, that shit ain't happening no more. Like, that's in my mind. I'm like, this ain't gonna ever happen again, you know? But you can't predict the outcome. You can't shape the future, but you sure can prevent some shit from happening to you later down the road. Because at the end of the day, if you ain't in that moment, you don't know what that moment feel like. So when I say I rap from the streets and I rap from the trap and I rap from this and I rap, everything I rap about is the truth. Like, everything that I'm sitting here spitting out my mouth ain't no cap. I don't do that. I don't cap. You know what I'm saying? Now, if I'm making something like unbelievable, of course it's a cap. Like if you see me like making like some vampire shit, but that ain't even a cap. It's just my own imagination. It's my own imagination running around the script. It ain't a cap. It's just, it might not be the truth, but it ain't a cap. It's just a, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is, you know? So like, do you understand? Like, you do one wrong thing, one unlocked door. That's all it takes, bro. Like people glorify the streets because they only hear the stories from survivors, right? They never hear from the ones who didn't make it through or made it, or you know what I mean? Like, I did, you know what I'm saying? And every single day since that happened, you know what I'm saying? It felt like borrowed time, you know? Because somewhere, somehow, somewhere out there are people who ain't never get a chance to tell their story, right? They ain't never get a chance to tell you what happened. I was lucky enough to sit here and tell you mine. Now the other cats, you know what I'm saying? The three cats who did that bull, and my homie, you know what I'm saying? Homie gone, but his brother's still alive, and his cousin is still alive. Yeah, but they could tell you it because that's exactly what happened. And I remember when they let us go, and they let us go, and they was like, we don't want to see you no more. They told the dude, they stay out my hood about that. Like, he was like, all right, bro, stay out the hood with that, and y'all don't ever want to see you again. I see you again, and you in that, and I'm dumping on both of you. That's what he said. All you could say is, all right. And then you could do. Of course, my homie, he'd be relocated. He ain't, you know what I'm saying? So I called my buster. That ain't no buster. That's making a business decision. That ain't no sucker. That's somebody who want to survive. I don't care what nobody say. A sucker is snitching and telling. You know what I'm saying? A sucker is begging them. We ain't never begged them niggas for nothing. We ain't begged for our life. We just did what we was told to do. You follow directions, you don't get your shit peeled. Sometimes you might just be a casualty. You gonna die anyways. It just wasn't our time that time. Cause that, who knows? I might not make it past this video, but end of the day, I'm here right now. So this gonna come out. This video gonna drop. I'm gone. You feel me? But it's gonna come out regardless. You know, it's your boy Cashman Meta Man. I ain't even gonna say all about that action because this ain't about none of that. We're gonna hit you with a new one. So like this. It's that real story time with that nigga Cash. Peace. Oh, microphone. Turn it off. Nah, I gotta do it. Hee hee.